One moment, the stage lights were blazing, the crowd was roaring, and Lola Young was delivering the kind of powerhouse performance that made her one of music's fastest rising stars. The next? Silence, gasps, and chaos. In front of thousands at the All Things Go NYC festival, Lola suddenly collapsed mid-performance, sending shockwaves through the audience, her team, and millions online who would soon see the frightening footage. What happened that night wasn't just a simple mishap. It was a wake-up call. Fans are now asking, was it exhaustion, an underlying health scare, or something far more unexpected? And when Lola finally broke her silence, her health update revealed details no one saw coming. It started like magic. The crowd was buzzing, the lights were electric, and Lola Young had the audience wrapped around her finger. From the opening note, she gave it everything. Her voice powerful, her movements fluid, her energy undeniable. But then, in a split second that no one saw coming, it all changed. Midway through a song, Lola began to sway. Her eyes flickered, and then collapse. Gasps erupted. Fans screamed. Security surged forward. Medical teams rushed the stage. For a moment, the venue stood still, paralyzed by shock. Eyewitnesses later said it didn't feel real. One minute she was standing, singing, thriving. The next she was motionless on the stage floor. Phones were out, footage rolled, and within minutes, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok exploded. People weren't just watching a concert anymore. They were watching a crisis unfold live. But as the crowd panicked and questions flew, no one yet knew what caused it. Was it a simple fainting spell? Or the sign of something far more serious? In the hours that followed, a clearer picture began to emerge. Sources close to Lola revealed she had been on an intense run. Grueling tour stops, non-stop studio sessions, little sleep, and barely enough time to eat between shows. On the surface, she looked composed and radiant. But beneath the makeup, stage lights, and curated Instagram posts was a young artist running on fumes. The adrenaline of performing can sometimes disguise the body's warning signs. And in Lola's case, it did, until it couldn't. Insiders now say she was battling dizziness, fatigue, and lightheadedness long before stepping onto that NYC stage. She pushed through anyway. Why? Because that's what's expected. That's what fans paid for. That's what fame demands. But this wasn't just about physical exhaustion. It was about an industry that praises overwork and punishes rest. And for Lola, that pressure built silently until her body made the choice for her. What happened on that stage was more than a fall. It was the crash of an overworked engine forced to run past empty. The moment Lola hit the stage floor, social media exploded. Thousands of fans recorded the collapse from every angle, uploading clips in real time. Hashtags like Lola Young and All Things Go surged to the top of trending lists. Concerned fans begged for updates. Others speculated wildly. Some blamed dehydration. Others whispered about heart issues or unseen conditions. And then came the wave of conspiracy theories. Was something in her drink? Was she sabotaged? Was this stress from fame catching up? The internet doesn't wait for facts. It demands answers, and fast. Fan communities dissected every second of video, zoomed in on her face before the fall, analyzed how she held the mic. It wasn't just a health scare. It became viral content. Music blogs raced to publish headlines. Gossip forums lit up with theories. And all the while, one truth remained. No one actually knew what had happened. Everyone was guessing. Everyone was watching. And Lola, she was silent. Until her team finally broke that silence. Lola's management moved quickly to calm the growing chaos. A carefully worded statement was released just hours after the incident, confirming she had been treated on site, was conscious and responsive, and was being closely monitored by her medical team. The message struck a balance between reassurance and privacy. They thanked fans for their concern, asked for space, and promised more information in time. But for many, it wasn't enough. The statement didn't address what really happened. Was Lola okay? Would she perform again? Was this the start of a bigger issue? The questions multiplied, and speculation only grew. Still, the statement served one crucial purpose. It slowed the panic. It reminded fans that Lola was alive, recovering, and in good hands. It shifted the tone of the conversation from fear to hope. And behind the scenes, it gave Lola just enough time to gather her strength and speak her truth, because when she finally did, everything changed. Days later, Lola Young broke her silence. In a raw and heartfelt Instagram post, she addressed her fans directly. She didn't sugarcoat it. She didn't hide behind vague words. She told the truth. Her collapse, she explained, was the result of extreme fatigue, poor hydration, irregular meals, and emotional stress. She had been pushing herself too hard, trying to do too much, ignoring warning signs. Her words struck a chord. She described how adrenaline had carried her through rehearsals and performances until that night when her body gave out. She admitted that, like many artists, she felt the pressure to be on all the time. That missing a show felt like failure. That taking care of herself often came last. But what mattered most was her tone, not one of defeat, but reflection. Lola wasn't ashamed. She was awake, literally and emotionally. She vowed to make changes, to protect her health, and to speak up more often about the struggles so many performers silently face. It was a rare human moment from a rising star. Lola's honesty sparked something far bigger than one health update. It opened the floodgates for a conversation the music industry has long avoided. The toll fame takes on young performers. Artists like Billie Eilish, Shawn Mendes, and even veterans like Adele had previously hinted at burnout and anxiety. But Lola's collapse made it visceral, real, visual. Industry peers spoke up. Some shared their own stories of fainting backstage or vomiting before shows due to stress. Others demanded change, more rest between shows, better backstage support, hydration protocols, mental health teams. Suddenly, it wasn't just about Lola. It was about all performers. Media coverage shifted. Headlines moved from shocking collapse to artists under pressure. Fans began reflecting on their own expectations. Was the demand for constant content, tours, and flawless performances part of the problem? For once, the conversation wasn't just about the show, it was about the people behind it. And it was long overdue. Even with Lola's transparency, rumors didn't disappear. In fact, some corners of the internet only grew louder. Was there an undiagnosed condition she wasn't revealing? Was her team downplaying the severity to protect her image? Did this signal a pause or an end to her tour plans? Despite her reassurances, the collapse remained clouded in questions. People speculated about medication, anxiety, even substance use, despite no evidence. Fans debated in comment threads. Some defended her fiercely. Others remained skeptical. But Lola stayed above the noise. She had already said what she needed to say. Still, the online chatter revealed something important, that the public often struggles to accept that celebrities are human. That sometimes a collapse is just that, a collapse. Not a scandal, not a conspiracy, just a warning sign. And Lola's silence in the face of further speculation, it wasn't avoidance. It was strength. She had spoken her truth, and now she was moving forward. After the collapse, Lola's journey didn't stop. It evolved. She underwent medical evaluations. Doctors confirmed there were no long-term risks. But they warned her, if she didn't slow down, the next incident could be worse. Lola took that seriously. She reworked her tour schedule, added mandatory rest days, hired a nutritionist, built a wellness plan that prioritized longevity over hustle. She also started therapy to deal with the pressure of constant visibility. And for the first time in her career, she gave herself permission to rest. Not as a weakness, but as strategy. Fans noticed. They celebrated her comeback announcements with a deeper respect. Lola wasn't just returning to the stage. She was rewriting the rules. Her next shows would still be fire, but paced, protected, and planned with care. No more pretending to be invincible. Her comeback was no longer just a performance. It was a statement. And the world was watching. Lola Young's onstage collapse could have been a footnote. A viral moment, quickly replaced by the next trending topic. But instead, it became a turning point. For her fans, for the industry. She turned fear into honesty, silence into strength, and crisis into conversation. She reminded us all that behind the lights, the cameras, and the flawless vocals is a person, a young woman trying to balance dreams with reality. And in doing so, she didn't just recover, she rose, stronger, smarter, more human than ever. Her journey is far from over. But one thing's clear, Lola's fall wasn't the end of her story. It was the beginning of one we all needed to hear.